Hi, I'm David Baxter. I'm going to do a couple of videos just on basic warm-up, shoulder conditioning, strengthening exercises to improve not only your safety of play and ensure your the quality of life for your shoulders, but also maybe get you a little more power, a little more strength behind it if your throw is not so good. First of all, I'd just like to do I will be doing a video on actual warm-ups and drills that you can do to warm up in under 5 minutes. But I'd just like to say warming up is very important, especially if you're coming into the off-season and you have not played. Your body has basically not been adapted to this type of play, especially if you're going out there and playing 100% right off the bat. So one, it's very important for the first couple of weeks that you warm up, and then you also take care of your shoulder. Just don't go out trying to throw a million miles an hour right off the bat. Firstly, anytime that you're warming up or stretching, you want to do what's called dynamic stretching. That's any stretch that involves any kind of movement. So pretty much for your shoulders, you want to do shoulders rotation forwards, backwards. Also, if you do scarecrows, things in this direction, again, this is mimicking your throw. Also, you can do stuff, rotations for your elbows going each direction, again, because you are putting strain on your elbow when you are throwing. You do want to stay away from any kind of static stretch. That's a stretch where you hold the stretch in place. I'll go over some of those later on, but for now you don't want to be doing those before you're playing. The reason why is because if you're holding a stretch, your muscles are elongating, and it actually takes up to 5 minutes for them to get back into a sort of naturally strong place before you can exert maximum force. So basically, if your muscles are stretched out and you go to throw right away, one, you won't be able to throw as fast or as hard right off the bat, and two, you're more likely to injure yourself because you're throwing while your muscles are in a place that they're not usually at, meaning that they're stretched out. So if you do any of those stretches, please wait a few minutes before you go balls to the wall. Yeah, I like that pun. Throwing right off the bat. Alright, right now I'm going to show you a couple of exercises for pretty much general shoulder health and scapula movement as well as strength. Pretty much that is the back of your shoulder blades here. Anytime that you're in a position of strength with your shoulder actually rotates down and gets pressed against your rib cage. This holds it in kind of a very strong, sturdy position where I'm not going to go anywhere. It's locked in there. Whereas if I have my shoulder pointed forward, it's kind of loose, it's able to move around. So this helps the general back muscles just get stronger. And the easiest way to think about it is if you're trying to pinch somebody's hand or a wallet between your shoulder blades. That's a very good way to kind of understand the muscles that we're talking about. I like to use bands. If you're using a band, it should not be oh my god, this is extremely hard resistance. It should be something that's moderate. You should not be having to struggle through it. That's not the idea of the exercise. If you don't have one of these, you can use a long pole, like a golf club or a stick, but they're not as good just because it doesn't go with your body as you're pulling. You can also use a towel. I would probably recommend that over a pole personally. But what you want to do is you want to start with it above your head. Again, you want to be able to get a little bit of stretch from the band if you're using the band, and you just want to do shoulder dislocation. So literally, you try and dislocate your shoulder, as the name implies. So you rotate back and down, and then back up. As you can see, you want to be working through a full range of motion as best as you can. And this is going to help just not only your flexibility, again your range of motion, because if you're throwing from here, you're not going to get much power in your throw. If you're throwing from here, you have a much longer lever that's throwing, and this will help develop that. But not just develop the flexibility, but give you strength and stability there when you're doing it. The next exercise is called a scapula push-up. So it's very similar to a push-up, but it's only partial range of motion. If you need to go on your knees, that's fine. These are definitely less intensive than a normal push-up, so try them on your toes and see how you do. Pretty much all you're doing is, as I mentioned before, your shoulder blades getting brought back together like you're trying to pinch a wallet or someone's hand. That's all you're doing. So I'm keeping my arms locked, and I'm just pushing through this range of motion here. So it is a little tricky at first, so do your best. Try and get that squeeze between your shoulder blades. And again, it really is just this motion through here. So you want to be pushing into it like you're doing a push-up, so you should feel in your chest here, but also you want to be retracting and pulling your shoulder blades back and together. So again, that's good for just scapular strength, stability, and range of motion. Those two, I really just check them out. Very few people will do these. They've helped me immensely. I have had shoulder surgery, amongst other things, so they have helped me out, and it's just you try them out as well. Alright, so there are tons of little muscles in your shoulder. It's not just your shoulder. Most of them are in the back of the shoulder blade, and they do a lot of the motions that are like this, or this, or this way. And those are what you're straining a lot when you're doing shoulder exercises. When you're throwing. So pretty much grab a band. You can also use a weight, a can of soup, anything that's somewhat heavy and that you can grip. If you're using a band, it's very easy. Attach it to a door, and you're going to be pulling in this way. So as you notice, my elbow is attached to my side. This is very important. Don't have it out here. Push firmly against your side. Bring your shoulder back slightly into that strong lock position I was talking about earlier, and then rotate inwards. Again, make sure that you're not lifting up like this. It's coming across your body. Now, as you can see, this is coming this way, the same way that a throw would be coming. So you don't just work on this direction. You also want to be working on backwards, because if you're overstrong one direction, all your force is going to go this way. The muscles in the back will not be able to handle the force of your throw, and thus you can dislocate your shoulder going forward if you strain them enough, or pull something in the front. So always make sure that you work the back harder, I suggest, than the front. So that's the exact opposite way. So again, you're holding it here, and you're pulling outwards in this direction. Make sure the elbow is attached tight into your body. If you don't have a band and you're using a weight or a can of soup, do not stand there with the can of soup and go like this. See people at the gym all the time with weights standing there going like this. This is absolutely nothing. Because the tension of the band is pulling my arm this way, you need to use gravity if you were using a can or a weight, which means you need to lie down, put your arm against your body here, and lift and turn upwards and outwards like this. Now, some of you, for instance, my hip goes in quite a bit and I have this dip here. If you have that situation, or your arm, you just feel is not comfortable here, you put a pillow or something across here to raise it up a little bit, but again, it should not be a great distance away from your body. It should be as tight as possible. Again, keeping your shoulder slightly back in a strong position. And again, you can do that the opposite way again as well. If you're laying on a bench, you just have to go this way, or the edge of your bed. It is a little not as comfortable, but again, you got to work with what you have. A lot of throwing, when you're doing, you're coming through here, and you're rotating this direction. This exercise is called a scarecrow. You can do this again with the band. So you just bring your shoulders back, down. You want to contract your abs, be tight in the core. You don't want to be having your butt stick out like this. So you want to be strong through here. And all you're doing is rotating forward like this. If you want to add a push-up, a press at the end, that's cool as well. But mainly what you're wanting to get is the shoulders back. Again, having a strong position, and just pull forward with it. Now, these are not the greatest for the band. I strongly recommend if you go to the gym, you find yourself one of those big balls, you get like 2 weights. It's just starting with 3 pounds. Any of these exercises do not progress above 8 pounds, even for you big bench pressing guys. The small stability muscles in the back of your shoulder are not meant to hold large amounts of weight. I've heard of guys doing these with 30 pounds and carrying everything in their shoulder. 8 pounds is, one, it's going to be very difficult if you're doing it with correct form, and it's going to take a while to get there. And 2, you're not going to need more than that. Because again, these are very small stabilizing muscles, so don't be like, I'm going to do these with 50s, you're going to end up getting hurt. So what I was saying is basically prop yourself up on the ball. So if you can use your imagination, I'm laying here like this, ball is in this general area. I want to have my arms up on each side like this. And what you're going to do, please imagine ball here, my knees are not on the ground, and you'll be rotating upwards and then pushing outwards like this. All the way down, all the way up, and through here. And you want to be feeling this from the back of your shoulder. You'll actually be able to feel it through your lower back as well, all the way down to kind of your pelvis, because this is all attached together. That is a great one if you can get a ball and do it. You're definitely going to feel it. It's very difficult. Beyond that, another one you can do is again working the similar muscles. It's a little bit easier if you don't have the ball and whatnot. And also, again, we were working this way. Now we're going to work the opposite way. So use a band, cross at the bottom. As you can see, it's crossed in the center. And what you want to do is pull back and up. And literally you want to think of a line across your back like this, connecting your shoulder to your hip, and you should be feeling it all the way through there. Bring your chest slightly out, and that's another good one to use. Alright, real quickly, I'm going to run through some shoulder stretches. You can hold all stretches up to a maximum of 30 seconds. I would prefer to do 10 seconds. But again, when stretching, listen to your body. Just do whatever you kind of feel works. If you kind of find yourself, you've already stretched and you're feeling good, you don't really have to keep going. Just kind of listen to yourself. Also with stretching, it's not no pain, no gain. Go to the point of discomfort that you can bear, but never go to the point where a stretch is physically hurting you. That's no good. Stretching should be gentle, and it's a progression like anything. So don't be like, I'm going to do the splits in one day and spend like 2 hours killing yourself. It's never good. I'll just show you some basic ones you can do. These are ones I'm doing all the time now. Basically just help with my shoulder flexibility and range of motion. First of all, is a tricep extension stretch like this. Elbow, reach to the center of your shoulder blades, pull back with your elbow, pull up. Very straightforward and simple. This will get your tricep as well as your shoulder and your back along this side. Another one you can do is go towards the wall. You want to put your chest flat against the wall. Again, chest flat against the wall. Reach up and start creeping up with your fingers. I usually go up as high as I can, about 10 seconds, and then relax and do that a couple of times. Another one is simple. The shoulder across the body like so. It's going to open up the back here. You can also do a bear hug. So you grab the back to your shoulder blade, pull yourself forward. When I pull forward, I want to push back into my back, as you can see. This is going to open up your shoulder blades and help with basically stretching all the muscles in your back, your rhomboids there. Clasp your hands together behind the back. Maintain an upright position and lift your hands up as far as they can go. If you can get pretty good range of motion, if you have a friend come behind you, grab the back of your hand and assist you going upwards. If you start getting to the point where you're going like this, stop. You're cheating the stretch, you're bending forward, just go back, just make sure you're maintaining a standing position. Find a door handle, grab onto it, elbow into the body, and then gently just walk, try and walk behind yourself. Make your body one piece. So don't try and go, my hips are going to go and then my shoulders. This is all just one flat part. So it moves together and you should feel it in the front of your shoulder and down the back side of your arm a little bit, depending on your flexibility. That kind of stretching should be done afterwards, not before. But if you are in need of some extra flexibility or you have those few extra minutes to do a stretch and then let your muscles get back to where they need to be, then by all means do them. Most importantly, listen to your body. If you feel pain, if you feel discomfort, if you feel there's something up, always listen to it. It's telling you that for a reason. It shouldn't be ignored. Go get something checked out, or go talk to someone who's knowledgeable about the body and what may be going on with you. It definitely beats listening to that small annoying noise now, or voice, or whatever it may be, as opposed to needing severe surgery or some other degree of physiotherapy or something later on. This stretch is for your chest. A lot of people have what's called like rounded shoulder. Pretty much if you're looking at my body as a lineman right now, and my shoulders are coming forward like this, like I'm typing at a keyboard for long hours a day. Basically what happens, because we're constantly in this position, whether we're driving or typing or playing video games, our shoulders basically turn inwards, our chest gets very tight, so it pulls your shoulders towards yourself, and also because of that it makes your back more open and actually weaker. So to balance that out, what you want to do is A, stretch your chest, and B, strengthen your back. As for the chest, you need to open that up and stretch that out, and that's also really going to help your shoulder. If your shoulder comes in like this, it starts pinching on a nerve that runs through here, and it basically just is not a pleasant thing. You know, a lot of rotation inwards like this, when you have a nerve right there, this is all compacted down. It's just far too many things rubbing against one another that are not meant to rub against one another. So anyway, that's enough background information for you guys. That stretch, one that I like the most, is find a corner, walk up to it, you're going to do a push-up on the wall, and just lean forward. Injury prevention is always better than getting injured and then having to do these exercises after, because I guarantee you that if you do a shoulder injury, you will be running into these exercises very soon at a physiotherapist or wherever you go, because I've run into those, and hopefully you never have to. That's it. Thanks everybody.